Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition, Natural Ice Revisited. Well, it's been many years since I've done a solo review of Natural Ice, although the first one I did was in 2010. Natural Ice, introduced in 1995, 5.9% alcohol, ice brewed for a smooth taste. So they take a multigrain they use multigrains for the ingredients. Corn, malted barley, and rice. And they brew it, and then they put it through an ice brewing process where they bring it down to freezing, which forms ice crystals, and they strain the crystals out, and they have a more concentrated beer, giving it higher alcohol. Okay, the ingredients, if you compare this to regular Natural Light from 1977, it's not much difference, okay? And even Natty Daddy, the Natural Father from 2011, that's the high alcohol, high gravity, 8% version. Very similar, all three. Okay, so these are sold in 30 packs. The last one I bought, last 30 pack, was $22 even, plus tax at Walmart. I remember around 11 years ago, it was $14.50 for a 30 pack at Walmart. Okay, this is pretty fresh. About 2 months old, this can. I think it's a Houston production. The code H, I think that's Houston, but I could be wrong. But that's the closest Anheuser-Busch brewery to me. Good thing about this one, even though it's 5.9% alcohol, high ABV, it's only 135 calories. So it's a light, strong beer, basically. All right. Still extremely popular in the United States, as evidence, or at least around here, as evidenced by the fact that Walmart has multiple endless 30 packs of this beer all the time. Not to mention the 6 packs of pint cans. If I go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I can still find brown glass bottle quarts of this beer, but we haven't gotten the brown bottles 12 ounce in this part of Louisiana since around 2012. Okay, as you can see, very thick white head, clear straw, bubbly in the etched Anheuser-Busch. They call this a tasting glass. I bought this at the Houston brewery. When I first started buying Natural Ice in 1996, it came in these bottles. Or, of course, cans also. Suitcases. You know, the 24 ounce shaped like a suitcase. Luggage, and they had the other configurations. But I remember in 1996, the suitcase was $7.98. Okay. Now, I don't know if you live in the United Kingdom, let's say England, Wales, or Scotland, or Northern Ireland. I don't know what beers they have that are comparable to this. You know, do they have lagers that are similar to this at a 5.9% alcohol level, lower calories, you know, like thin-bodied, and, you know, $22 for a 30-pack of 355 milliliter cans? I don't know. Do they have a comparable item like that? All right. Yeah, you get the grains, the malty grains. Like I said, the corn grits, the corn syrup, yellow corn, I think it is, or maize, as they say in Europe. The rice, and by the way, Anheuser-Busch supposedly is the largest purchaser of rice in the United States, and they have so many Louisiana and Texas rice farmers who sell exclusively to Anheuser-Busch. They say they're making so much money, why sell to anyone else? Okay. So think of fermented cereal grain. I'm getting the grains, barley, corn, and rice, like I said, and it's like a cooked thing here. Like cooked, like you boil rice. Okay, or I do it. Okay, taste. I love boiled rice. And when I went to the brewery in Houston in 2015, they were boiling the rice. You could smell it in that room. It's like it smells in my kitchen. And I said, you don't boil the rice and the barley together or cook it together in these kettles, she called it, or cooker. The tour guide looked at me, what? All right, it has a sweet flavor, but not overly sweet. Just think of, like, I'll say old people cereal, Special K, you know, the cereals, boxed breakfast cereals on the top shelf that only old people want to eat. So there's sweetness, but it's low. So I would say 2, maybe, out of 5 sugar cubes. Bitterness, nice lacing. One and a half out of 5 hop cones. So crisp finish, medium body. Goes down easy. But if you drink too many of these, you're going to go down easy, because 5.9 is no joke. I mean, I know people that drink a lot more beer than I do. I might drink 24 in a week of this size. Well, I know people that drink 24 in 2 days. But they mostly drink, like, say, Natural Light, which is also very popular. 4.2%. But you drinking these 5.9s, guzzling them, you asking for it. So, but anyway, the score as an ice beer, which is what it is, it's not anything else. For an ice beer, they used to make Keystone Ice. That didn't last. There used to be Schlitz Ice, Pabst. Well, I was back in the mid-90s, late 90s, when ice beers were very popular. Pabst Ice, Schlitz Ice, I have cans of that. National Bohemian Ice, bought once. Did a review of it, video review. I think they even made a Schaefer Ice, but that all faded. So the only ones really hanging on now is Bud Ice, Ice House, which I can barely find anymore. That's dying. Nearly dead. So really, it's really around here is Bud Ice, hugely popular. Natural Ice, hugely popular. Milwaukee's Best Ice, popular in the quart cans. No other format here. And Ice House, barely hanging on, and all the rest gone. Okay, so, but this is not, doesn't seem like this is going anywhere. This is like one of the top beers in this town. I know in where you live, they might have Busch Ice. Busch Ice is popular in certain parts of the United States. Never been sold in Louisiana, so it's very good, similar to this, like practically identical, really. Different label, same brewery. But yeah, it's got appropriate sweetness, meaning low. Yeah, appropriate bitterness for ice lager, low. All around is fine. Score. I feel comfortable giving it a 9.1 out of 10. It's a little rough around the edges, I guess, with it as an economy beer, but it's pretty dang enjoyable, and I don't get tired of it. That's why I keep bumming it. I never get tired of it. Miller High Life, I do get a little tired of it, honestly, but, and it's very, very dry. Miller High Life, I find it's very dry. Too dry for me. Not enough sweetness, and it tastes a little bit like steamed vegetables, which I don't love that. I like steamed vegetables, but to drink it. But, you know, that's extremely popular here, too, as you can imagine. But just not, I don't find it competes so much against this product for my taste. Similar price point. Yeah, I like Budweiser, but I don't like the price. Keystone Light, Milwaukee's Best Light, Natural Light, they're all about the same price. But they're too bland and boring for me. Too bland, too boring. This one's got more action, you know, at 5.9. Got a little bit more flavor, a little richness, more richness. I would buy Milwaukee's Best Ice in 30 packs, but they sold those around here and they always went out of date. So maybe I was the only one buying those. So the stores pulled them. I would buy those interchangeably. That one's a little richer flavored, a little more rich flavor. But I'm not saying it's better, just a little richer flavor, a little different flavor. Same ABV, 5.9. All right, so Les Bon Temps Relais, getting into excellent, honestly. I don't know why somebody would say this is nasty. If you get on Beer Advocate, they might give it a 1 out of 100 or maybe a 0 out of 100, which means if you drank it, you would die. It's a ridiculous score. But usually people writing reviews for this beer on that website would have an axe to grind with it, and they're not going to give it a fair shake. They're out to get it. You know what I mean? So, and I've seen video reviews, so-called reviews, where they're out to get the beer. Obviously, it's like, here's my haha video, haha review, haha of natural ice, haha, and it's like, okay, I'll see where this is going. No objectivity. But I am objective because I'm just a consumer and I buy it because, for the reasons I just told you, inexpensive, it tastes good. I don't work for the company. I have no relationship to the company. And by the way, I've never received anything free from the company. Not that I would turn it down. If y'all listening, call and send. Just kidding. Well, actually, I'm not kidding. But, I mean, I'm kidding, but I would take it. I would. Anyway. All right, so y'all go to Houston, well, they don't give tours anymore. Y'all go to St. Louis, Missouri and take an Anheuser-Busch brewery tour. Les Bon Temps Relais. That's my tagline.